Okay, here we are again, alone in the kitchen. So weird. A couple people have mentioned that I should get a microphone or something. Y'all, I'm by myself in a kitchen during the apocalypse. This thing's propped up on a plate. Like, anyways, yeah. Sorry for all that. I didn't know how to use my phone before this, so, yeah. Anyways, there are certain things that we ordered, we, from down south because it's just not the same here. And one of those things is country ham, which is how you say that, country. It's spelled C-U-N-T-R-Y. Anyway, so we get them from Benton's in Tennessee, and I happen to have already ordered one, so it was too late. So, which is actually fine. They last a really long time. It starts out our day as like this kind of situation. There we go. So what we do is I'm gonna take the largest part of the ham. You've got ham, and you have the bones and the skin, and they separate those for me, which I really appreciate. The air is so nice down there, so it makes like a really nice, like, salt cured smoky. And technically, like, you could eat this as is, but this is young, so it's not smoked for that long. So I like to multitask. I'm gonna throw it. Ooh, that was a nice noise, right? I'm gonna throw it in this here pot, and then I'm gonna throw some water on top of it. I'm gonna boil it. Then I'm gonna take the ham out to slice up to sell y'all as biscuit slices, and to make red eye gravy with. And then the remaining water I'm gonna use for ham stock. So these bones, okay, bones, delicious. And these skins are gonna go for bone broth, which you can buy for like $20 at the store, something ridiculous. It's not that hard. You can do it yourself right now, or I'm making some now, I'll sell you some tomorrow. So again, you want to, when you're roasting this stuff, make sure you've got a grate. See that grate? It's gonna separate your fat. And the fat from this is going to go underneath this grate. I'm gonna separate it. All of these bones are gonna go back into the ham broth. And then we're gonna shave the fat off of that ham, and we're gonna make our jalapeno cheddar crack bread, the crack being ham cracklins. But that'll be a different situation because, again, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no supervision. There's no Dan to watch me. So that's gonna go in at 375 probably for 20-25 minutes, and this guy is gonna boil for around 30 minutes, and then we will separate and return. That sounds a little alarming. Ow, that nice. Okay, so you're starting to see the fat separate. It's been about 15 minutes. Now our ham had one smaller piece, so we're going to dig in there for that. And yeah, see, we're starting to get a nice red color on the outside, some flappies. So we're just going to take this, good color, nice. We're going to put it, boom, in a Cambro. We're going to let the other one rock out for a little bit longer. We're going to let this guy, look at him all steamy and sexy, cool off until we can process it. All right, now about 15 minutes later, we got our other baby out of there. Look at that. Oh, geez. Look at that. So again, we'll let that rock. And then we're going to come over here. Now it's time to pull our stuff out. See how nice and roasty everything is? All the skin's all twirled up on itself. You can do a lot with these skins. We happen to have a lot of fat that's going to come off the other ham. So these guys are now going to go, voila, into our nice boily ham water. Pull up. And then as the day here goes on, why do I click my tongues like that? It's so annoying. I'm sorry. It's not necessary. As the day goes on, usually I would have like a bunch of like onion scraps or, you know, carrot, whatever else. But the restaurant isn't open, so I realized, look at that. Just, it's so shiny. I realized that I don't have any of that stuff. What I do have is some old bacon skin, which I'm also gonna add in here. And then this lovely fat is gonna get strained off. and I'm gonna keep that for my future life. I realize now that if you don't own a restaurant, you probably don't have any of this shit, and this is probably a pointless video, but I'm in here by myself. So anyways, had some ham scraps left over that used to be the garnish for the red-eyed Mary. That's in there now. Some bacon skin, and then this was fat left over from when we made pulled pork, and I'm just gonna smush all this stuff down. And this is actually a bone broth, is when it goes, the difference between a stock and a bone broth, there's a lot of different, variations, but in this case, a bone broth is you're gonna let it go for over 12 hours. So this one I'll do for 24 because I got some time, and it's so much better that way. And then maybe we'll make soup dumplings. Who knows? What do y'all want to make? All right, so bone broth is on super, super low temp, and this is about how much? Like a cup and a half of the ham fat that we got from this part, and then we'll see how much we get from the next part. Okay, so again, bear with me. I am waiting for somebody to let me borrow a tripod. So now I've got my cooled ham, and you can see, like, that's a lot of fat right there. And we don't want that on our, we call them in the South, biscuit slices. You don't want that on your biscuit slice. You want just enough ham to render it. So then what we want to do is trim some of this off. Now, if you're just making stock, then you can do that. But I highly recommend making cracklins. They're so good. So you're just going to kind of, just whatever sharp knife you have, just start cutting chunks of it off. And as you go, you'll get these nice little flappies. And then we're just gonna like roll small. Get us some little strips. Okay, and then once you have all these guys, they're gonna go right into a skillet. And we're gonna cook them over the stove. Easy peasy. Let's one more look at that thing. Look at that. It's like a vagina. Sorry everyone. All right, y'all. So that's about how much fat, and I left some of the meatsies on there because they crisp up and it's nice. And then here's a biscuit slice, so about yay thick, and then just enough fat. When you cook it off, it renders and has a nice flavor. And now we're gonna cook this. I'm not sure why I flashed my hand in front of that at the end on a time lapse, like you were gonna know that meant to cut the heat, but that's what that meant, was to cut the heat. And then you just let these bubbles continue making your crispy bits. Look at it, they're dancing. Okay, you guys, so turns out you can totally balance the phone on the oven, which is totally safe and a great idea that I won't regret. So I hope you enjoy all of my shadows going across this and all that till I get my life figured out. So this is ready to strain now. So we're just gonna do it into whatever you got, a sieve, a colander, whatever meshy thing. Always make sure you scrape out everything in your pan because it's good and smart and efficient and not wasteful. And then here's all your ham cracklins. Now, these are delicious on their own. However, just eating fat is not the best of life decisions. But anyways, we're gonna let this strain for just a titch. And yeah, then you got your fat below.